Hi guys, welcome back. In the last video we have created a Hello World API. If you have not watched that, go and watch that. And in this video what we are going to do, we are going to create a complete user CRUD operation, that is user management option, using Flask REST API. So let's get started. So what we have done, we have created a hello world function and we have just activated our virtual environment. Okay, we have run that, but now we have just activated the virtual environment. Let me create another file, name it as app.py. okay, application file, sorry, let me rename it another time, app.py. well, app.py, I have created a app.py. So first what we are going to do, we are going to import required packages. So for our packages, what we are going to do, we are using Flask. From Flask we are importing Flask request and JSONify, and from Flask SQL Alchemy we are using SQL Alchemy. From Marshmallow we are using Marshmallow. Okay, so next is initializing our app and initializing our DB and initializing our database. Okay, so first is initializing our app. So we are going to initialize our app, like initialize app, Flask means app is equal to Flask. Then we are going to configure our database with the app. So for configuration, what we are going to do, database for SQL Alchemy, so we are using SQLite database. Okay, app.config, that is SQL Alchemy database URI. The URI is SQLite : database name. Our database name is userdetails.db. Next we have enable the SQL Alchemy track notifications. Okay, then what we are going to do, we are going to initialize our database. So we are simply going to instantiate the SQL Alchemy with the app, so that it will initialize the database. Then what we are going to do, we are going to just initialize the Marshmallow. Okay, we have initialized the Marshmallow. Next step, what we are going to do, we are going to create our model, that is the table of the database. In the SQL Alchemy we have to create the model. Okay, so what is a model? Basically a model is a class which is a instance of the class db.model. Okay, so why we are inheriting this from db.model? Because db.model have all the functionality of db.column, that will represent a column in a SQL table. Okay, MySQL table. Okay, so db.integer is a type of the table, means type of the column. This functionality is going to given by the db.model. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to create a table named user, means inside that we will create a first field, first column will be ID. That ID will be a integer type and it is a primary key and auto increment. Then that there will be a name. This column have string type, email have string and password have string. Okay, after that we have defined our initializer. Okay, initializer in init function we are accepting 3 parameters. Okay, name, email and password. Okay, then we are initializing the parameters with our instance. Self.name is equal to name, self.email is equal to email, self.password is equal to password. Okay, this much. After that what we are going to do, after that we will do a lot of things, but we have created our model. So let's create our database. Okay, for that let me create another file and name it as create db.py. Okay, so here I will import from app import db, that is database. Then what I am going to do, db.create all, to create all the table. Okay, I will save it and I will execute Python. Look, I have activated my virtual environment. Okay, Python, do that first, create db.py. Okay, our database have been created, userdetails.db. Okay, let's get back to our code, app.py. Okay, we have defined our table and we have created our database. Next is we are going to means Marshmallow schema. We are going to define a schema for our user table. So basically what is a schema? Suppose you have 4 fields and you want, when a user requests to you, you want to show the user 3 fields, means you don't want to give the password field to the user when a user query. For that you can use Marshmallow. It will serialize your data. Means if you will dump a user object with the Marshmallow, what it will do, it will exclude the password field and it will only return ID, name and email field. Okay, this is the main use of Marshmallow. For our case, we are going to also return the password. Okay, so now we have defined our schema. Let's initialize our schema. For initializing our schema, we have to initialize it by by the way how we are initializing a class. Okay, so here I have defined two type of schema. Okay, so you may ask what are these types. First is a user schema, which is a instance of user schema, but this user schema is only responsible to serialize a single user. But in the case of multiple user, you can't use user schema. Okay, for multiple user you have to give a parameter many is equals to true, so that it will accept multiple user and it will return a list of users. Okay, so for that I have instantiated two, both of that, user schema and user schema. Okay, I have named it that, you can name it anything you want. Then the next step is we are going to define our route for the create user function. So what we are going to do, first we are going to define the route. Okay, we have defined the route create user and our route is api.route/user and our methods what we are going to use for the route is post method. Okay, below that what we are going to do, we are going to define our function and our function name is add user. Okay, add user function is responsible to add user and handle this route. Okay, so next what we are going to do, we are going to get the data from request. So we will get the data from request. Name is equal to request.json of name, means from request we are accepting the name, request we are accepting the email, request we are accepting the password and saving in name, email and password. Okay, we have get the data from the request. Now what we have to do, we have to initialize a new user with the data, means what data we have will initialize a new user. So new user is equal to user instance of that user table. Okay, and the first parameter name, then email, then password, name, email and password. Okay, this is how we are going to initialize a new user. After initializing, we have to add the new user to the database. Okay, so for that what we are going to do, we are going to just add a new user by db.session.add new user. So it will add the new user to the database, but this means we have added the user but we have not committed, so that it will reflect on the database. For doing that, we have to write the commit method. We have to write the commit changes to reflect in the database, db.session.commit. Okay, so it will commit all the changes, means all the add we have added and it is commit and it is going to reflect in user details.db. Now the final step, we have done everything. Now what we are going to do, we are going to just return the response to the user. For that we will simply write a return statement of user schema, means we are using this single user schema because we are returning a single user. User schema dot JSONify, we are using JSONify to JSONifying our object new user. Okay, also you can write this in another way using the dump operation. Return JSONify user schema dot dump of new user. First you are dumping, means first you are formatting your data, serializing your data, then you are JSONifying and returning. Okay, so this is a simple user, means we have created a function that is, means we have handled a route that is a /user which accept the method post and create a user from the data given in the request. Okay, so we have done it. Now we have to just write a main function to run the app.run debug is equal to true. Okay, so let me save the file. I have saved the file. Let me run that file, python app.py. Okay, the file is running in this location. Let me copy this location. Also I have, means this location in my Postman. Okay, I have created, means I am going to add another request type and I will use the URL /user. Okay, this is the user. Okay, So then what I am going to do, I am going to give a post request. Okay, in post request I have first I am going to give a body, that is a raw body. Okay, first it will take is, first is name, oh sorry, it's a string, colon name. The name is let me give my name, well, comma, enter email is, okay, this is a dummy email, don't bother that, and password, and the password will be pass. Okay, so I have defined the request, means the data for request. Okay, let me send a post request to the method, and I am getting a error. So the error is I have not defined the content type, so I will go to header, and in header I am going to write content type, and my content type, man. Okay, content type, and my content type is application/json. Okay, so this is my content type. Let me send. Okay, okay, in my body I have done some mistake. Well, I have used single quotation, but it is telling that I have to use double quotation. Okay, so let me do that. Okay, so I have updated that, and you can see that this is the response we are getting. Okay, so we have created a object with id 1. If you want another object, I will jug1. Okay, send it, and you can get jug1 with the id 2. Okay, so this post request is working fine. Okay, next what we are going to do, we are going to define another route that is going to handle for get request. Okay, so let's do that by just creating another route. That route is going to is responsible to mainly handle the get request from the user. Okay, so in /user we are going to handle the get request. So for that, let me just define the function. Okay, let me just define the function, and we have defined the function name get user, and inside that we are going to write our code. Okay, so inside that what we are going to do, we are going to first users is equals to, means users are user database name, means database table name user.query.all, that will return all the users. Okay, next what we are going to do, we are going to dump all the users to the user schema. Okay, so for so that our data, means our result, our users are going to be formatted as per our requirement. Okay, so what we have done, user schema dot dump users. Okay, so we have dumped that, then we have JSONify. You also can use a single line code for these, but as this is the initial label, so I have not used that. You can write a single line JSONify of user schema dump users. Okay, you can write that. Okay, let me just save it, and it is running. My server get restarted. Let me open Postman. Well, Postman, in Postman let me create another URL with the URL that http/user. We are going to give a get request to /user and send, and here we have got all the users. We have two user, first user and second user. Okay, so get method is working fine. Next, what we are going to do, we are going to write update and delete route. For update and delete, you can also write this way, means a single route is going to handle by single function, or else you can also handle multiple route. For update and delete, I am going to handle multiple route at once. So how you can do that? You can do that by simply defining a route with the user. Here we are taking id as a request, okay, means id in the request. So user slash user id, okay, the method are put and delete, okay, both the method, okay. Next, what we are going to do, we are going to first handle the put request. For that, what we are going to do, we are going to just check if, we are going to first define our function man, okay. We have defined our put delete function that is going to be responsible to put and delete data. Then what we are going to do, we are going to just check if the method is equals to put, okay, is it so? Yes. If it is, then what we are going to do, we are going to first get the user is equal to user.query.get id, means we are going to get the single user through the id, means we are telling that give me that user whose id is this id, whichever the user have passed in the URL, okay. So after getting the user, we are going to update the data of the user. For updatation, we are going to write user.name is equal to request.json of name, user.email is equal to request.json of email, user.password is equal to request.json of password. That means we are updating the name with the name given by the request, means while requesting the user given the name, so we are updating that. Email by email, request email, and password by request password, okay. So finally we are going to commit our database, okay. So we have committed the change db.session.commit and we are returning a simple message data updated. Similarly, for delete operation also, what we are going to do, we are going to just check if the method is delete. If the method is equals to delete, then we are getting the user from the id, then we are deleting the user from the session db.session.delete of user, then we are committing the database to reflect in the database, then we are only returning a response that is data deleted successfully. That's this all. So let's save my code, okay, I have saved and okay, it is restarted. So let me go to Postman, I will just add another line, no, better I will update the post request. Well, post request I will get that to put request. I am going to give a put request to /user /id will be 1. I am going to update the first user, that id is equals to 1 /user /1, and in body I am going to name as updated name, email as updated email. You may think that this will not work, because no, it will work, it is only taking string. I have not written any code for validation, okay. Update name and update password is update password. Oh well, let me send the request, data updated, okay. Let me get the first user, okay, first user, updated email, updated name, updated password, id is first, okay. So finally we are going to delete that user, delete, and for our http user /1 we are going to give a delete request to this route, send that, okay, data deleted successfully. Now get all the users and you will get only the user with id 2, because we have deleted the user with id 1. This is a simple representation of user CRUD operation using Flask API. In the next video we are going to explore, we are going to do this CRUD operation in Flask RESTful API and in future REST Plus API, and finally we are going to integrate these APIs to serverless so that you can deploy this to AWS cloud with a cost effective manner. Hope you have enjoying this series, and if so, please show your support by commenting below, like and subscribing this channel.